Howdy y'all, today we're playing some Pokemon Auto Chess. This will be a new series on the channel called The Road to Great Ball League, where we start with a brand new account at 1000 ELO and try to work our way into the Great Ball League, which begins at 1100 ELO. I'm not gonna lie, I played this game a decent amount. It's been a few months since I played, so I'm rusty as hell. There's also been a couple updates since, so I'm not quite familiar with, so the first game we play to open the series might have a slower feel to it. Hope you enjoy. I do remember checking the weather and region you're in, helps you choose what team to start to build around, so I give it a look. Looks like water, fields, sound synergy will pop up more around here. I started with a couple waters, so that could help us if we go that route. Nothing too special pops out to me for the regionals, maybe Shellos if we continue with water. I do get a Swinub here, gives us sound synergy. I also grab a couple Lillipups, but I decide to get rid of them for Duskull and Zubat for now. We easily beat the rats. Now we get to choose our first item. After some refreshing in my memory, I decide to grab another pair of black glasses to make a wonder box later. That will give any Pokemon holding it 2 random items to start of each round. Only problem for me, I'm not quite sure who I want to put it on yet. I pick up a Geodude, Hoppip, and Pichu, and for some reason I don't make a wonder box moving into the next round, which is okay. It is still pretty early. Nothing too special will come out of it, but could have helped. To begin stage 4, we get our first item roulette. We end up picking a Never Melt Ice, and after some thinking, I start picking up some water units to trade in for the ones I don't want sitting on the bench anymore. I also decide to get rid of the fire units and don't make any items going into the first PvP fight. Looking back at it now, kind of frustrates me. I didn't remember to do that, but I also never said I was good. We get clapped in our first match, but we get an interesting Pokemon item draft here. I do end up choosing to go with the magnet. I could have kept the Dew Spider though. I thought I may be sticking with water, but that's alright. I see I have another slot on the field open, so I throw Hatina in there to give me Fairy Synergy as we are going into the next battle as a PvP battle. We take another tough loss, and now I have to start thinking about what to build for real. I do finally make the Wonder Box, and since this is a temporary team anyways, I just put it on our best attacker for now, which is Meryl. This is when I decide to drop the water and start pivoting to a possible flying bug comp. We are also able to get a big win there with Meryl coming in clutch. We get a Kakuna and a Golbat here, which are two awesome pickups as I decide what to pivot into. I end up being too slow to get that Pidgey in on time, so going into round 7 with just Fairy. To my surprise, Meryl goes absolutely insane to bring us a win in that round. Not seeing any Pokemon I want, I decide to grab a Mystic Water. Then transition my team into Flying and Fairy synergy to move into round 8. We also pick up a Natu. Check what's been added and change up the position of the board a little. Meryl tanks us through the early PvP battles. We pick up another Pidgey, and I decide to drop the bugs here and roll for more flying units. We come across a Woobat and Bagon. Moving Woobat and Natu in play gives us Flying 4, Sound 2, and Psychic 2, which is a lot better going into our unique pick. I throw the Wonder Box on Golbat to help secure a win over Gyarados. I do see a flying sound portal that's coming my way, which makes it easier to get what we need going into these next rounds. We roll into Skarmory and Chatot, but I ultimately decide to go with Chatot as we already have something special going with flying and sound synergy right now. I throw Chatot in play and start to decide what items I want to give it. For now, I make a blue orb and an assault vest, which I'm not sure if these are the ideal items. But to go into the next fight, we have a Alolan Raichu. So let's see how we match up. After that win, I'm not really regretting the items I put on Chatot at all. I do end up choosing another Mystic Water, as none of the Pokemon really impressed me for what I'm building around. We're sitting really nice at 68 gold, so I roll down once and get a Watero and another Natu. I don't know if I said that first Pokemon right, but whoopsie, not too familiar with the new ones, even though I played the new ones. With this, we can level up and go into round 12 with Flying 6 though. 。 . 。  . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . 。 . . . . 。 . . . . . . . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . . . . . .
。 .
We have another item roulette, but because of us being in first place, we get the last pick of the items. So spoiler, I end up picking up a magnet. I throw some money into XP, then roll a bit to see if we could evolve our units. I find a Zubat and Woobat, but nothing special going into round 12. Stumbling over my words a little today. Even with a rough start, we do pick up a victory there. I start to think what I want to do when I hit level 7, and since we can't get flying 8, our next best move is to move to sound floor. Floor? 4. So I pick up 2 Flabébés, buy some XP, then roll into Floette and Swoobat. I go a little under 50, which I don't like, so I think about selling the Pidgeys and swapping for a Dratini I picked up during a battle, and forgot to mention, I do end up being too late. Let's see if that makes a difference. It doesn't really affect much, but I do swap into Dratini right away to avoid that from happening again. We also have a Golbat in the shop and go up to level 7. I'm able to throw Floette in as planned to get sound synergy up the floor and roll down a few more times, finding a Xatu and Rowlet. We do pick up a heart scale here and start buying some more XP. Feel like I'm getting really lucky with the rolls. We get a Dratini and a Ditto. Because I want to save money, I choose to sell the rest of the shop and lock the Ditto in for the next round. If you're curious of why I do it like this instead of holding E, I did run into a glitch last time I was playing. That was a while ago, but I didn't really want it to happen our first game, especially getting this good of a flying pick. Our team gets hit hard by the dark team, but by the end we still come out with the win. Picking up the Ditto we saved in the shop, and with another roll I run into a Rookidee, which I noticed is a new since I played last, and I was really excited to be able to use it. But again, to save money, I buy out the shop and hold it for next round. We go into our next item roulette with a Rookidee we saved and a Zubat. I throw the rest of the money into XP, and we walk away with a Miracle Seed. As I notice I'm about to go into level 8, I start thinking of how I want the field to look. I'd like to slide Rookity in, and then I notice with the Noibat I have, I can rotate out Floette and keep Sound 4 while still putting in Flying 8. God, I'm sorry for my speech today, I just cannot hold it together. We barely walk away from round 17 as the winner. I also see a Swablu in the shop, but then I notice the whole game is frozen, and after a little bit of waiting, I decide to refresh the page. We managed to load back in with a bunch of money, which is nice to know we didn't waste it with a bunch of my clicking. I also noticed we get our first loss, and with it being off screen, I'm not quite sure what went wrong. So I go right into level 8 and continue my original plan with Noibat and Rookity. Seeing we are going into the legendary round, I roll down a little, finding a Dragonair and another Rookity. We find another Ditto during the portals, and I go for the first flying one I see right in front of me, taking no chances. I actually do something a little goofy here. As you see, there's 3 flying types, and for some reason, I thought an artificial logo was the flying logo. So thinking I could add steel to the mix, I end up choosing Magearna. After replacing Watrel, we make a King's Rock and a Muscle Band to give our Magearna, but overall, this was a mistake for our legendary. During the end of that battle, I realized Magearna actually isn't flying. I try to think of something I could do about it in the meantime, so I rolled down a little, and with nothing of interest, I put the rest in the XP. I also choose to evolve our Crobat with the Dittos we have to give us some more bench space. Crobat takes a huge win for us in round 21. I don't regret using the Dittos at all. Going into the item roulette, I'm thinking of going for a Muscle Band or a King's Rock, but since they're taken, I settle for a Pokédoll. Throwing the rest of the money into XP, my goal is to get back to flying 8 ASAP and still keep the winning streak. I throw the Pokédoll on Crobat, then the Mana Scarp on Xatu, and the Green Orb on Magearna. Hopefully this is enough to hold us over until we get flying 8 back. That dark team came in hot, but Crobat and Chatot were able to get cooking later in the round to give us the W. I go right into level 9 and look around at my options before deciding on putting Water Arrow back in. Now that we're back at flying 8, I feel okay to roll down our money a little, finding a Corvisquire and another Rookidee before round 23 starts. This time taking down the same dark team with some ease makes me feel really good going into this late game rounds. I rolled down, but I don't really find anything, so I stay at 20 gold going into the battle with the legendary birds. I pick up a flower after that and throw it on our Wombat. Rolling down to get another Rookidee, I feel like all we have to do from here is evolve what we already have, and I really want a Corviknight in this game. We continue to roll down a bunch this round just to see if we can get any last minute evos before we head into the end game. And with so many rolls of absolutely nothing, I do end up getting 2 Dratini's, which is nice. Now I want to get a Dragonite just as much as I want to get a Corviknight. The game also makes it up a little just by giving me a single Ditto heading into round 26. I do pick up a Corvisquire during that battle and a Dragonair at the start of the item roulette. I don't really think I need anything particular as we are looking extremely good. I do pick up a Wonder Box for the extra items. I roll into another Dratini, and I am now 2 Dratini and 2 Rookidee away from exactly what we want. I do end up choosing to put the Wonder Box on Corvisquire, not for any reason, but I did notice it being the weakest attacker at the last match. I start rolling down hard again, noticing that the next battle will be the last of the game if we continue with the win streak. After getting nothing for a while, I do run into the last 2 Rookadies I need to get the Corviknight I want so badly. I don't look up in time to see we still have a legendary battle before, so I used the Ditto early, which is a little risky, but we'll see if we find the Dragonite. Quick battle. I check if the Ice Stone could give us any Ice Synergy here, but ultimately I decide to go with the Cleanse Tag, throwing that on Dragonair, and then just one more roll, we get a Ditto. Extremely shocked, I almost rolled again, but I do end up grabbing it and we get a Dragonite, getting exactly what we want going into the last battle. It comes pretty close, but with Magearna and Chatot and a few more heavy hitters on the back end, we were able to get the win in our first game. This was a really fun one. Get back into it, even with a handful of mistakes. If you guys enjoyed, please give a like and subscribe. Catch you next time.